Now in Unit 8, one more reading, C reading is left. What is that? It is about Kathmandu. The Kathmandu, when we hear the name, we simply remember the very beautiful country Nepal and the hilly area and the coolness and everything, and mainly it is a religious place for all the Hindus. Pashupatishwar temple is there, right? So Kathmandu he is describing because it is one of the places where he stayed for some time during his travel to Manas Sarovar. Manas Sarovar is a lake, pure water lake, a very beautiful one, and means what beauty over there is. It is said Lord Shiva, he himself with his Parvati over there, Manas Sarovar, and he traveled to that lake and he called it as a heaven lake, from a heaven lake. From there he has given his complete description about his travel from here to Manas Sarovar and back. Wherever he stayed, he had given a very vivid description of the place where he stayed. Now we can see this Kathmandu in this book. We can read about it in our Vikram Seth's words. But before that, we should know a little about the writer himself. Writer is Vikram Seth, and he is Indian writer. And Indian writer, why I said is there are many Indian writers, but he chooses to write in English. Not only that, he is a novelist, he is an essayist, he is a travelogue writer, and he is a poet even. He is a poet even. And Doctor's Journal, that is one of the, what we can say is a clear picturization of Hiroshima, Nagasaki and bombarding over there. And second one, the Frog and the Nightingale, a poem, satirical poem about the society, how man eats the other man. Eats means not virtually taking the fork and the knife and the spoon, no. Means manipulation, how a man manipulates the other. To that, he has written a satirical poem, Frog and the Nightingale. And here, it is a description about the very, what we can say, serene place, Kathmandu. Why is it serene? It is serene because it has the Hindu version and also a Buddhist version over there. A very beautiful sights we can have there. Above all, Vikram said somewhere in his heart he has an inclination towards the music. And so in the Frog and Nightingale you can see the bird nightingale has been brought. And it has been described that every creature on the earth, it loves nightingale because of its music. That has been told. Now here also he describes a kind of music here. Means entirely if you read it in a careful manner, the lesson talks about some music. Everywhere he shows the sounds. And somewhere complete silence. And then again a small sound comes. Means though it is a travelogue, we can hear a number of or various different voices we can hear through this lesson. That is called writer's skill. That means that which is not there, he can present through that. So now what is the story like, or what is the travelogue like, or what is our Kathmandu? When I say what is our Kathmandu, I am very sorry to state here that exactly 1 year ago, that is on 25th April 2015, there was a devastating earthquake. Why I said devastating means the complete beautiful Kathmandu had become into rubbles. The square which he has described here, the hotel room through which he sees, hears the sounds, Now if you go over there, you will find only a complete mortal silence over there. Where is silence? Nothing, no music, you cannot hear the music. So here, this is the lesson. We can enjoy both the music and the scenery here, that's all. Now if you go to Kathmandu, you cannot see that. Because the very same square which he has described here, that has become into rubbles. The hotel which he has stayed here, that is also gone into rubbles. Now, 180 buildings have fallen down. You can imagine what can be the scenery over Kathmandu over there. That is one, and also one more also at the Richter scale 8.6. The earthquake, it was the devastating one. That is the what we can say intensity of the earthquake one felt over there. That is really when last year when I taught it, I was not feeling such, because after teaching this lesson, immediately after that, after examination, I heard about this. So now again we are teaching this, and now we felt what we can say a tumult about it. Is the Kathmandu same or not what we are reading now? Definitely I said no, though I did not see it, but many in your network you can see there are many photographs before, after, before, after. This is the place before, this is the place after. If you see, there is completely a cleaned up field, మైదానం కంప్లీట్గా క్లీన్ అయిపోయిన మైదానాలు. ఎక్కడైతే మంచి ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ బ్యూటిఫుల్ బిల్డింగ్స్ ఉండేవో అంత మొత్తం మైదానం అయిపోయాయి. సో let us see what Vikram says here about Kathmandu and his experiences. I get a cheap room in the center of town and sleep for hours. The next morning, with Mr. Shah's son and nephew, I visit the two temples in Kathmandu that are most sacred to Hindus and Buddhists. Kathmandu is a place, as I already told you, that it is a sacred place, pious place, a serene place for both Hindus and your Buddhists also. So here Kathmandu is such it gives a picture that it is a unique place for both Buddhists and Hinduists. So he had been there with some Shah, his acquaintance, and that Shah's son and nephew. He must be a guide or somewhat like that, or guardian, whatsoever. He followed them to that place, and he himself could able to get a room at a cheaper rate at the center of Kathmandu town. And there he stayed, and completely, because he was completely tired, he took rest for hours together. At Pashupatinath, outside which a sign proclaims entrance for Hindus only.